It's stretch time, everyone. Welcome back to the seventh inning stretch. My name is Matt Watson, Philadelphia Phillies beat writer for Metro Philadelphia. Today, we're going to be breaking down a franchise-altering prospect that is on the cusp of changing the game in Philadelphia. If you haven't already, please hit the like button down below and make sure to follow on all podcast platforms as well as YouTube. While Justin Crawford and Andrew Painter are set to make their big league debuts in 2026, there is another top prospect who is not too far behind. That player is Aiden Miller. The young Phillies shortstop is skyrocketing up the charts of MLB prospect rankings. Per MLB Pipeline, Miller ranks 23rd. Baseball America has him 14th. The Athletic ranked him 6th. ESPN put Miller as their 10th best prospect in baseball, and CBS Sports landed him in the 18th slot. In 2025, Miller spent the majority of his season with the Double-A Fightin' Phils. In Double-A, the young right-hander hit for a .259 average with an .810 OPS. After a slow start at the beginning of the year, Miller caught fire in the second half. He hit for a 1.083 OPS in August and followed that up with a 1.119 OPS in September. Staying hot, he would get called up to AAA with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs for the final 8 games of their season. In those 8 games, Miller hit for a 1.032 OPS and had 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles, and a home run. It is doubtful that the Phillies prospect is going to start the season with a big league club. He will more than likely become the everyday shortstop in Lehigh Valley, giving the Phillies prospect a chance to play daily. If he continues to swing a hot bat to start the season, I would not be shocked to see the Phillies make the call. Their goal for 2026 is to win the World Series, and they will not leave a stone unturned in their effort to achieve it. Joining the Phillies in Clearwater will be Aiden Miller, who was extended a non-roster invite to join big league camp. Miller's going to get a chance to play, especially with a lot of members of the Phillies playing in the World Baseball Classic, which starts at the end of February and in the beginning of March. Edmundo Sosa is one of those players who will be playing in the World Baseball Classic, and I do think Miller will shine in the opportunities he gets when Sosa leaves to play in that tournament. I think Miller's going to get a lot of opportunity to play, whether it be a third base, shortstop, or second base. Wherever the Phillies can really pencil him in and give him more opportunities, I think they're going to. I think Aiden Miller has every chance to put himself on the map heading into 2026. But like I mentioned, I do not expect for him to be an option when the club breaks for opening day. An aspect of Aiden Miller's game that I don't believe a lot of people realize is his ability to swipe bases. Miller swiped 59 stolen bases in 2025, 7 of them coming in the 8 AAA games that he played at the end of the season. He is a 5-tool prospect, a caliber of player that the Phillies do not want to ruin. And I don't think you can ruin Aiden Miller. When healthy, he has proven to be a plus player in all aspects of the game. His defense, which was a knock early against him, has improved year after year. The Phillies do view him as a long-term shortstop. If you don't believe me, listen to Phillies general manager Preston Mattingly give a glowing review of Miller, courtesy of Corey Nidow of Philly Sports Network and Metro Philadelphia.
Yeah, just Aiden, I think the biggest piece for Aiden last year was he took significant jumps in the shortstop defense and then the speed component. I think we drafted a player that we felt was like, hey, had, tremendous body, strength, bat speed, and thought he had really power potential. And then as we've got him into the system, we've realized that I think this kid's probably, the speed has increased maybe a grade and a half. He's still close to 60 bases last year. And I think he's a guy around the industry that we thought, hey, maybe he slides to third base due to the size, but I think he's went out and, to his credit, proved everybody wrong in his ability to stay at shortstop if that's something that we would choose to do. So that's what I'm most excited about, him to continue to. And I think Aiden's a lot of around the edges. It's at bats, getting reps versus upper level pitching. He's progressed so fast that he hasn't got the at bats that other kids get in the minor leagues.
Corey is one of my teammates with the Metro Philadelphia Phillies beat crew, so make sure to give him a follow on X at Corey_Nidow, and make sure to check out all of his great Phillies content. A lot of Phillies fans were upset when the news broke that Bo Bichette would be joining the Mets and not the Phillies. After a few weeks of a big chase, I know a lot of Phillies fans were penciling in Bo Bichette into the lineups for 2026. Fortunately for the Phillies, they have a Bo Bichette in Aiden Miller. What Bo Bichette brings at a big league level is something that Aiden Miller, in my opinion, will be able to do. I think Miller hits for a little bit more power than Bichette does, so his average might not be as high in the big leagues if he reaches his full potential. But I do think the power numbers will offset that. Bichette does not swipe a lot of bags. Miller does. Bichette was not a very good defensive shortstop. Miller is better. So while Bo Bichette has done it at the highest level, of course, we saw the 3-run home run against Shohei Ohtani in Game 7 of the World Series last year. I think Aiden Miller can build towards that. Bichette has been in the big leagues for a long time. He got called up at a young age, and I do expect that to be the same case for Aiden Miller. So yeah, in 2026, Bo Bichette would have been really nice for the Phillies. But overall, from 2026 and beyond, we're not really sure where Bichette's going to be playing. Who knows? He could end up in a Phillies uniform in 2027. But what I do know is that Aiden Miller is a factor for the Phillies moving forward. And I think that he can be a Bo Bichette type of player. Others have linked him to Alex Bregman as a big league comp. Bregman, of course, is a 2-time World Series champion, just signed a huge deal with the Chicago Cubs this offseason, and Bregman has been a multi-time All-Star and is regarded as one of the best players in all of Major League Baseball. If the Phillies can get that version out of a young Aiden Miller, I think they're setting themselves up to look really good moving forward. Currently, the Phillies have Trey Turner playing shortstop. Coming off a great season, Turner does not expect to move off a short anytime soon. I do think with Alec Bohm potentially being on his way out, Aiden Miller could slide in at third base if he were to get called up this season. And the same would go for Bryson Stott at second base. While the team does have Edmundo Sosa as a backup for second base, third base, shortstop in a pinch, I do think that the Phillies would give the opportunity to Miller over Sosa. Projecting forward, Bryson Stott's future in Philadelphia is not cemented by any means. We could see a situation where Trey Turner moves to second base and Aiden Miller comes up to play shortstop. Maybe even if they move on from Alec Bohm after the season, Miller comes up to play short, Turner slides to second, and Stott moves over to third for the remainder of his contract in Philadelphia. There's a lot of options there. Bryson Stott is obviously a Gold Glove caliber second baseman, so moving him off of second base just to fit Aiden Miller isn't necessarily a move the Phillies are going to have to make, but they could make. I do think that Trey Turner will eventually move off a shortstop, but if he plays like he did last season defensively, I do think there should be no rush for the Phillies to move him out of the sixth slot on their defensive side of the ball. Can Aiden Miller play shortstop? I think the answer is yes. Can he play third base? I also think that answer is yes. Second base is more of a question mark, but I do think that he could make that transition. If he's swinging a hot bat, the Phillies will find a spot for him, especially if Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott are struggling at any point this season. I do think that the Phillies would give both of their veteran players the opportunity to play out of a funk before calling up Miller. But again, in 2026, they must win the World Series. That is their ultimate goal. Playing for the division is one thing, winning a playoff round is another, but the Phillies have to find success in Red October once again. I think if Aiden Miller is playing to his potential and he's playing like the top 20 prospect that the Phillies and all of Major League Baseball scouts and evaluators have him ranked under, I think that he could help this team win a World Series this season. And if not, maybe he's a year away. It's hard for me to tell. I'm not Aiden Miller, and I'm not the Philadelphia Phillies. But I do think keeping an eye on Miller over the next several months, first in spring training, and secondly in AAA at the start of the season, can help dictate the future in Philadelphia. I am really excited to see Aiden Miller in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform. We'll get a glimpse of that when spring training breaks in just a few weeks. Do you think that Aiden Miller will make an impact on the Phillies in 2026? Let me know in a comment down below. As always, my name is Matt Watson, Phillies beat writer for Metro Philadelphia. Please make sure to check me out on X, Twitter, and any social media platform at Matt Watson Media. Find all my Phillies work at Metro Philadelphia and check out my website, mattwatsonmedia.com.